It's the FAJR breeze, it's the moment of learning, it's the aura of awakening. Come on in about Allah, oh oh oh, come on in about Allah, oh oh oh, come on in about Allah, oh oh oh, come on in about Allah, oh oh oh.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, welcome to today's episode on Battles and Blossoms on FAJR Breeze. And I am your host, Bushro Olagunju-Matemilola. And today we have with us Hajia Kudro-Badru. So Hajia, this morning our focus is on the challenges that people face, especially Muslim youths. So the question I want to ask is, what does it take to bloom as a Muslim youth in a world where a whole lot of things keep tugging you in different directions? What are those things, what are those kits that is needed for Muslim youths to bloom, to survive in the society that we find ourselves today?
Okay, so I'm wondering, I think the very first important thing is the knowledge of the Islam you're practicing.
Okay.
Because without the knowledge, you can't differentiate wrong from right. You can't
That's
tell
true.
if whatever direction you're being pulled to is right or is wrong. And rather unfortunately, our youth these days, that's where they pay the least of attention. I remember back then when we read this book, Let Us Be Muslims. And then Sheikh Abu Ala Maududi was saying that you are not a Muslim because you are born into a Muslim family. You are neither a Muslim because you bear a Muslim name.
True.
No, are you a Muslim because you belong to a Muslim society? So what differentiates you, what stands you out as a Muslim is the knowledge of Islam that you have. And then, of course, you profess that there is no God except Allah and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger and apostle. So the very most important thing is the knowledge of Islam. Now, in seeking this knowledge of Islam, we must understand the extent in which this knowledge goes. The beneficial knowledge, the ones that are not beneficial, the Western knowledge of things around us, everyday knowledge, the things we do, including the basic tenets of Islam.
Okay.
Your salat, the rulings when it comes to having interactions with people, social rulings in Islam, the rulings when it comes to transaction, business transactions with people, rulings around several things, adab, akhlaq, sakafat islamiyah, and all those things. So with that knowledge, whatever aspect of regular life or everyday doings interactions that you have, you will be able to first go back to the rulings of Islam and then be able to tell what does Islam says about this and how will I be able to just oppose that Islamic ruling with what I'm presently going through. Most times I give this scenario of you're like let's say you're the class captain and then you are told to tell your class girls or class boys to form two rows. Okay. The first thing that comes to your head as a Muslim is, okay, form two rows, girls this way, boys this way. Sure. Simply because of your basic understanding of avoiding free mixing. Exactly. You are doing it harmlessly, but it's like a part of your subconscious that is the right thing to do. Sure. So whatever it is that we're going through, whatever it is that the world, because the world will keep changing. We're in the world of AI, we're in the Gen Zs, we're in the Generation Alpha, whatever generation yet to come. The knowledge of Islam that we already have right from the beginning is what would inform our decision of how to relate with every generation, every time, every challenge, and every situation we find ourselves. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. I actually want to help you. I want you to help us dig closely into the fact that certain Muslims believe that some rulings in Islam are tilted, I don't want to use the word old-fashioned. They believe that this ruling was put in place during the time of the prophets because of certain things. So now that this is a new generation, an entirely different generation that reasons in a very different way, they believe that there probably are some new rulings that should adapt to the present generation. So is it possible that certain knowledge in Islam are archaic and maybe there are some new ones that should replace those kind of knowledge? Okay, so let's look at the sources of knowledge when it comes to Islam. Okay.
The first most important is the Quran, and then the Hadith, and then sayings of the scholars, and then analogical deductions. Now, the root of any knowledge when it comes to Islam would be from the Quran. There's nothing new that is going to come that we won't find, no matter how slim the reference is, from the Quran and the Sunnah. Now, scholars of Islam, we keep having scholars based on contemporary situations, based on one scholar dies, the other comes along, they've been trained by some of those old scholars and all. So those present scholars will definitely be able to bring the present situation into the fatwas that they're going to bring up, and then they'll be able to tell us based on what we are going through and then how we're going to deal with those situations. So there is no ruling when it comes to Islam that can actually be said to be archaic because of the scholars and then the sources we've talked about. Scholars of Islam will look at it and then will tell us that these ones within the present day, this is what comes up, and they're going to use those pristine sources to give their evidence based on what. For instance, before now, surrogacy was not a common thing.
It was not something so many people focused on.
Would want to talk about or would want to even think that was practicable or was a solution. But in present day, you start finding young people talk about surrogacy like easily. Even people who don't have any medical issue will just think,
they begin to look at it as an option.
I want to keep fit. I want to look nice, trim and proper, and I'm thinking of going into surrogacy. Islam will give you the solution. Islam will give you the proper answer to it, and that's just it. So these are some of the things why we need to let younger generations to realize that there is no ruling, there is no present situation that we will not find the ruling in Islam. It only depends on how deep you've been able to dig. That's when you get to
So it depends on how far read you are, the kind of knowledge that you have, and the sources that you're making reference to. And that's to let us know that no matter the generation at all, every question has an answer rooted in Islam. So please do not find your answers outside Islam. And at this point, we call it a wrap for this episode. If you have enjoyed this episode, remember to tell somebody that Battles and Blossoms on FAJR Breeze will be gracing your screen every dawn throughout Ramadan. If you have enjoyed this, please join us again for another interesting episode. And I have been your host, Bushra Olagunju-Matemilola. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's the FAJR breeze, it's the moment of learning, it's the aura of awakening. Come on in about Allah, oh oh oh, come on in about Allah, oh oh, come on in about Allah, oh oh oh, come on in about Allah, oh oh oh.